Candyman, 1992, begins with a haunting aerial view of Chicago accompanied by the ominous voice of Candyman reciting a chilling mantra about bloodshed. The eerie opening scene features bees symbolizing Candyman's supernatural essence. The narrative kicks off with a young girl Clara telling a babysitting horror story about summoning Candyman alongside a boy named Billy. After invoking his name 5 times in the mirror, a sinister figure with a hook appears and Billy is murdered off-screen, establishing the dread surrounding Candyman as a feared urban legend. The story then shifts to graduate students Helen Lyle and Bernadette Walsh, who are studying urban legends for their thesis. Their research leads them to the Cabrini Green housing project, where rumors abound that Candyman is responsible for several horrific murders, particularly that of Ruthie Jean in her apartment. While Helen remains skeptical, dismissing Candyman as mere folklore, her determination to uncover the truth drives her deeper into the myth. Meeting with Professor Purcell, an expert on urban legends, Helen and Bernadette gain insight into Candyman's tragic origin. Purcell recounts the story of Daniel Robitaille, a talented artist and the son of a formerly enslaved man. After falling in love with a white woman he was commissioned to paint, they faced dire consequences when her father discovered their interracial relationship, leading to Daniel's brutal murder by a lynch mob. He was mutilated, smeared in honey, and left to die surrounded by bees. His ashes were scattered near Cabrini Green, his spirit now haunting those daring enough to summon him. Despite the shocking tale, Helen's skepticism persists. Determined to explore Cabrini Green firsthand, Helen and Bernadette witness the stark living conditions and gang violence plaguing the community. They meet Anne-Marie McCoy, a single mother who expresses her terror at Candyman's existence and the belief that he cursed Ruthie Jean. A young boy named Jake warns Helen of a recent murder in a nearby bathroom, foreshadowing further horror. Inside the restroom, Helen discovers disturbing graffiti depicting Candyman's face alongside the phrase "sweets to the sweet." When a gang member impersonating Candyman attacks her, she barely escapes, ultimately leading to the assailant's arrest. This incident primes Helen to reconsider her initial belief as she contemplates if Candyman is simply a narrative used by gangs to exert power over Cabrini Green's residents. Tension escalates when Helen has her first real encounter with Candyman in a parking garage, where he confronts her with a hypnotizing presence, accusing her of violating his legend and asserting that she must be punished. This pivotal moment marks the transition from mere disbelief to the inescapable reality of Candyman's malevolence, thus aligning Helen's fate with the dark legacy she sought to disprove. As the film unfolds, it questions the intersection of myth and reality while exploring themes of race violence and the haunting power of urban legends, setting a chilling atmosphere for further horror. I am the writing on the wall, the whisper in the classroom. Without these things I am nothing. So now I must shed innocent blood. This chilling proclamation sets the scene for Helen, who unexpectedly blacks out and awakens in a horrifying situation. She finds herself in Anne-Marie's apartment covered in blood, where Anne-Marie's dog has been decapitated and her infant son Anthony is missing. In a frenzy, Anne-Marie accuses Helen of murdering her child, leading to Helen's arrest by the police. Helen's husband Trevor bails her out after the shocking incident. Disturbed and traumatized by the events, Helen seeks refuge in her home, yet Trevor is unsupportive, leaving her feeling isolated. Things take a dark turn when Bernadette, a friend, visits Helen. As Helen reluctantly opens the door, the Candyman appears and brutally murders Bernadette. With Helen found holding the murder weapon, she faces another arrest, this time ending up in a psychiatric hospital. Inside the hospital, Helen struggles with her mental state after being sedated for a month. During an interview with a psychiatrist, she adamantly insists the Candyman is real, but her claims are dismissed. Determined to prove her reality, Helen looks in a mirror and invokes Candyman 5 times. This summons Candyman, who emerges and kills the psychiatrist, allowing Helen to escape from the institution by jumping through a window. Her escape leads her back to Cabrini Green, where she confronts Candyman in his lair, which is adorned with murals portraying his tragic history. Candyman proposes that they become legends together, offering her immortality if she surrenders to him. Through intense visions, Helen discovers that Candyman has plans to sacrifice both her and baby Anthony in a towering bonfire. Desperate, Helen stabs Candyman, yet he seems invincible. The residents of Cabrini Green, unaware of the sinister events unfolding, ignite the bonfire. As the flames roar to life, Helen fights through to rescue Anthony, enduring severe burns in the process. Candyman meets his fate as he is consumed by fire, screeching in agony. Barely clinging to life, Helen manages to hand Anthony back to Anne-Marie before succumbing to her injuries. Helen's funeral is somber with only a few attendees. However, residents of Cabrini Green honor her bravery by dropping Candyman's hook into her grave. Meanwhile, Trevor grapples with guilt over Helen's fate. In a moment of reckoning, he gazes into the mirror and calls out Helen's name 5 times, summoning her vengeful spirit. Helen appears with Candyman's hook and brutally avenges herself on Trevor, leaving Stacy, his mistress, horrified as she stumbles upon his corpse. The story concludes with a haunting image, a new mural in Cabrini Green illustrating Helen as the new Candyman, signaling that she has assumed his role in the urban legend. As the credits roll, the unsettling score by Philip Glass echoes, leaving a lingering sense of dread and the perpetuation of Candyman's legacy. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.